attacks. And so here's what we know. 6 people have been taken to the hospital, 2 adults and 4 children. And as you can see right here, here's the house where the fire took place. Hit the guardrail and then flipped over. And then what happened is this tanker truck that you see behind me came and crashed into the really exciting day in the Hoosier State. But first thing voters have to bring is a government-issued photo ID. So a student ID or a work ID isn't going to cut it today. Sheriffs in Colorado found Perez in a suspicious car. You can sort of see the extent of the damage here. Now let's move over to the tree. I mean, this tree is absolutely massive, and it just fell right on this house. Those 4 people were taken to the hospital, and their condition is unknown right now. I want to show you more of this scene right here. I mean, just check this out. These roots were literally taken up from the ground. Now what we're going to do is the signing of the sausage. John is going to sign for the, how many pounds of sausage?
400 pounds.
400 pounds, just a little, you know.
400 pounds.
This road right here will be under construction for the next 3 months. If you live here and get involved in the community, your rent can go down by half, and you'll be walking distance from downtown and everything it has to offer. We're here at Potawatomi Zoo, where Zuba will start tonight. There's going to be lights, pumpkin carving, a lot of decorations. And right here with us is not only the zoo director, Marcy Dean, but also my new best friend, Copper. He is the cutest thing I've ever seen. So again, $310 million. Check your pockets because it could be you. And if it is you, give me a call because we should get together. This is actually a bona fide Gryffindor scarf. So I'm kind of like a Hermione Granger, Harry Potter-esque character. I wasn't going to draw the scar on. I thought that might be a little bit too much. And I left my glasses at home. I'm saving that for later tonight. But yes, it is a legitimate Harry. Well, you can see the line right here. I mean, it has just been growing ever since we got here at about 4:30 this morning. But we wanted to talk to people in line and see what time they got here this morning. So, ma'am, what time did you get here? The plan is for Dave Matthews to turn the old Madison Center into adult dorms, if you will. The idea is to take the 70,000 square foot building and to make it into affordable housing. If you just throw on a helmet and grab a bat, you can actually train just like a South Bend Cub in the midst of what they're calling a capital campaign. So since 2002, the combined total of kids coming to their facility has increased by 742%. You'll see a lot of faces here that will be on the ballot in May, and there is a lunch here that starts at the Westside Democratic Club at 11:30. We got this big ice throne here. It's a little slippery to sit on, I must say, and a little bit chilly, but nevertheless very cool. We walked through the halls of the Humane Society here and saw tons of dogs and cats that were vaccinated. And if you recognize that someone is having a stroke, the sooner you take action, the more you can reduce those long-term side effects. You know, it looks like any ordinary room, but it is anything but. This place is stacked with certain clues, and with one goal: to get out. A story more than 40 years in the making.
But the part that kind of got me is right there. Her signature.
Starts with a piece of paper.
I opened up the envelope, which gave me something that almost everyone takes for granted, to look at their birth certificate. And here I am at the age of 43 looking at a document that I didn't even know existed.
James Burns started his search for his birth family 30 years ago.
But it was important to me to know the background of how I came to be. So I searched.
And today,
The 2 girls should be here any time now.
he'll have...
I'm hoping that it goes well, but I'm shaking like a leaf today.
a moment James has been waiting for
Turn around and head towards the deli.
his whole life. Biological cousins and aunts met James for the first time at Martin's Supermarket.
How can you put it into words? You know, you find a long-lost family member. How can you put it into words? I mean, it's just amazing. It's awesome. It's exciting. It's just mind-blowing.
James searched through adoption records and Facebook, all leading up to the reunion.
But to me, he's a lost little boy. I can hear a lost little boy in him. I can. And that's sad. It's very sad. So hopefully, all this will make him feel much better and put him at ease, so he'll know where his family is and where he came from.
I'm somebody and not a piece of trash that I was led to believe that I was left out and they just picked me up. I mean, that's hard. How do you take that somebody may not have cared enough about you that left you out, and this other couple just picked me up. Now, I know the truth, that just wasn't the case. But either way, I was raised decently, I've lived a good life, and my journey's continuing to find others.
It's taken decades for James to put the pieces together, but he finally got what he's been seeking out his whole life.
My message to other adoptees would be to don't give up. There's always hope. We as adoptees think of our search as a continuous journey. So if you keep on that, continue on with every little information you have and keep it up, because eventually you're gonna find it, what we call our truths.
Well, this is actually pretty interesting because instead of having specific anti-bullying programs, schools are trying to get to the root of the issue by encouraging kids to do the right thing.
Because I was sad because I was getting bullied.
Lexi Hansen draws pictures like this one. She wants to be an artist when she grows up.
Yeah.
And the glasses she wears helps her draw.
He just says I look weird and I have googly eyes.
That's what Lexi's bully calls her.
She came home one day and she was crying, and I'm like, what's wrong? And she's like, well, he pushed me down the stairs on the bus.
So what's being done to keep kids like Lexi from being bullied? Indiana schools have statewide initiatives like Positive Behavioral Interventions and Supports, or IPBS. It pushes for positive character development with rewards.
When we really believe that we have a true bully, defined by the books, we try to give them, counseling. We hook them up with the social worker. Our social worker or counselor will reach out to families to get them referrals to outside agencies. But it's important, that is very important, to remember that it's not just about the victim, it's also about the person bullying, because they're hurting too.
Marshall primary student Jayshawn Caldwell used to be a bully.
Well, I had started bullying when I was like 9 years old, then I stopped. Then I just protect people.
South Bend schools are taking prevention to the next level by training people in character education and citizenship.
There's lots of barriers, but again, the research shows social and emotional learning is important. So we try to capitalize on teaching kids how to be good citizens, what it means to care about another human being, and to always reteach, because we know that we're battling against different forces, and we really are.
To help vibrant young kids like Lexi.
I would say that you are in the inside you're good and out the outside you're good.
And stop bullying. South Bend schools also partner with Notre Dame to do conflict resolution programs. In the studio, I'm Alex Elich. Well, Bob, it's more than just showing up and filling out the application at the Luther J. Taylor Fire Training Center. Candidates then who are selected will be asked to come back and do a series of mental testing and oral interviews and a physical test. And I was able to give that physical test a try. You have to be ready at a moment's notice. But to even get to this point, you have to pass the physically demanding CPAT test.
By the time I got here, yeah, it was still hard. And it was like, whoa, because you step off that stair stepper and it's like, all right, okay, I got it. And then you keep going. But I think I was a little bit prepared for that. But like I said, I had that drive, and I just wanted to keep going.
One of the 8 stations that a firefighter applicant has to go through is called the ceiling breach. Now, what it simulates is pulling down a ceiling in a fire situation.
You have to realize that this is a job unlike any other job, where at a moment's notice, you're put into work mode. Your heart rate goes from 60 to 120 at the sound of a tone.
Another test is dragging 165 pounds of dead weight. Oh my God! And let's just say I couldn't be a South Bend firefighter.
There you go, good job.
You've got to really want to do this job. It's not just any other job that you 8 to 5 job. It's a tough job. It requires a lot of mental preparation, physical preparation, but it's so satisfying to be able to do and help the community.
The exact reason why Gomez left his cozy job behind a desk in the first place.
It might be a stubbed toe. It might be a house on fire, but I impacted that person's life in one way or another. And to me, that's why I do the job. That's why I have the passion for this.
Now, to do all those physical tests you just saw, you have to wear this 50-pound vest. And what this simulates is the gear firefighters wear to go into a fire situation. Sade Morales awoke to news that changed her life. Justin Sharp, the father of her children, was shot and killed at this Phillips 66 gas station.
And they're gonna be without their father, his mother and father without their child, his sisters and brothers without their brother.
Morales was one of many who stopped by the gas station to pay their respects. Investigators say this homicide is another example of a senseless crime.
I don't know what it's going to take for this stuff to get through to the community, that every time you have a disagreement, it doesn't mean you have to kill somebody.
He will always be in our hearts, but this violence has to stop.
You know, the message is don't be stupid. Don't kill people. I mean, how hard is it?
The case is still under investigation. Officials are looking for a person who they believe is connected to the murder. But friends and family of Sharp just want answers.
I want everyone to know I need that man that took my child's father away. You have done something to this city that you cannot take back. You done shook our whole world upside down.
And one of their tasks is to get the baseballs ready for first pitch. They've got a routine down.
Yeah, before that.
It might look like an assembly line, but this crew of umpires make sure
2 weeks ago, and
these baseballs are ready for first pitch.
Everybody has their own method, so it's kind of hard to master it, but we got a system down that works for us, and I think we're one of the quickest crews in the league.
nobody tells you how to rub baseballs, so you got to figure it out for yourself, or hope to get tips passed on from some guys that came before us. But you get a rhythm, get a routine.
The baseballs come out of the plastic, pearly white, shiny, and slick. But this scoop isn't ordinary mud.
The mud, I believe, comes from the Delaware River, somewhere in New Jersey. It's a secret from what I'm told.
Vincent Jackson and Ryan Wilhelms mud about 6 to 10 dozen baseballs per game. Before they go out,
we always look forward to it. When we get to the locker room, you kind of have a task at hand. You get into a routine. So mudding the baseballs is just part of the routine. It's one of the first things we do when we get in here, just to get it out of the way. But it's become easier and easier. Like he said, when you get in a rookie ball, you have no idea what you're doing. And now we kind of have our own method.
Curveball driven to deep left field.
And make sure everyone plays the game the right way.
Look out, Compton!
You kind of just have to have the right personality for it. You got to be able to take what they give you, you know?
Adds 2 more runs. It's a 5-run third.
Vincent Jackson and Ryan Wilhelm have been able to see 16 different states during their umpiring career. They're a part of the Midwest League, and they travel around different areas of the Midwest to umpire for different teams. Live